Good morning, folks. Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to SKTV. Good day. Let's share the show. We are sorry that we're a few minutes late here. Sorry. A lot of things going on. So we have to make sure we put ourselves together. Now we put ourselves together now. Yeah, yeah, we have to make sure we put ourselves together. It's not easy.
Interesting.
Thing happening, oh. So we have to put ourselves
Plenty.
together. Lot of things happening. But folks, as you join us, let's share the show. I know some of you watching the game already. But switch channel. Switch channel that Guinea important. Switch channel. If the team will lose, they will lose. Switch channel again are important. Let's talk about the new leadership today in the legislature. The new leadership. Folks, let's share the show. Welcome to SKTV. Let's share the show. We are not getting into the conversation until you share the show. Let's share the show. Share the show. As you join the show, let us know where you're following us from. I got my man Milborn with me here today. We're not only be talking politics, we'll be talking other things. But Melbourne, what is going on with the whole African Cup of Nation team? What's going on?
Yeah, thank you for that. Also, I'm following a little bit because we like some of us we have our country that we are supporting. And for me, I'm supporting the host country or Africa Coast or la Côte d'Ivoire. I don't know about you, but in the first game. The first game was between Senegal and Gambia, and Senegal won the game 3-0, and the game already ended 3-0. And the second game is already on. It's Cameroon and Guinea. And the game is 1-1. The game is 1-1 going 81 minutes already into the game. So it's Cameroon 1 and Guinea 1. And the last game for today will be played at 8 o'clock on tonight. So yes, indeed, Steve, that's the kind of news coming from our sports, some of our activities, especially when it comes to sports. So I don't know which country that you are supporting when it comes to the Nation Cup. You are muted, yeah.
No, but if you look at it for 2, what kind of thing you wear local order that will support?
I see. Maybe, let me tell you, maybe you may look at people like Africa Coast that have spent nearly 1 billion, yes, to put a life together. Even though we're sending quarantine there, but I think the people spend 1 billion just to put a life together. So for me, I know that you are someone who like to see good things, someone who are developmental, mind person. So you don't want to sit by and go support people without even get even making no impact, especially when it comes to the sports. So maybe I will guess that you are or maybe you want to support Africa Coast, or you may likely support Africa Coast.
Well, thank you very much, Milborn. The truth of the matter is I don't support teams like Nigeria. I can support Nigeria. I can support teams like Liberia. I can support Liberia because those are the they were try. So I'm not interacting with them. I don't support Ghana. I'm not interacting with them. All day they're passing around dancing and doing all kind of funny things. I'm not on that thing. They will say the Black Star Boys kind of show face, they be bouncing around. I'm not on that thing, my brother. Me, I'm a realistic man. I'm not on that thing. I don't support Liberia in football business. Okay. And the reason I don't support Liberia in football business, it is unfortunate that we have a country. It is unfortunate that we have a place. It is unfortunate that we have a national team as we speak now. We've been doing day well since I don't know what kind of time. Forget that thing. I'm not wasting my energy on that. So I'm not supporting Lone Star. In fact, when Lone Star plays, I can be running far off. I'm being honest. I'm not gonna deal with nobody. We gotta keep it real. So I will speak right now. Morocco.
Okay.
Morocco, Senegal, and Ivory Coast are my team. I picked the French-speaking nations because at least they are serious-minded people. And all the countries are French-speaking nations. And I'm on that team. That's what we're doing. Liberia, we're doing other African countries. I'm not on that team. Even Guinea, I'm looking at Guinea some kind of way. Even though I live in Guinea too and I play football there, but I'm not living in Guinea. Yeah, somebody say I'm very unpatriotic. It ain't any problem. I'm unpatriotic. I'm not supporting Lone Star. I can support Lone Star. I'm not supporting Lone Star. Maybe in the future, I will support. But since Lone Star lost that opportunity to go to the World Cup from that time.
Oh, for 2002.
My man, lead that team, man. I said, I bet don't lose that Benin football Benin. I said that.
You had a way back story Benin too. That story, the way back.
Oh, but nobody's stupid yet, bro. Nobody's stupid yet. You come out support. You can be looking funny in the town. I'm not supporting nothing to look funny in the town. I don't want no funny in the town. I don't want to look funny in the town. Let me say it now. I don't want funny fair to catch me, so I don't support Lone Star. I know we're in something at 3-0, 3-1. I know we're
so Steve, if you were to suggest, what would be your own suggestion? Maybe seeing the Lone Star moving forward. Is that just because of lack of support, or what do you think of?
Well, you see, football. I play football. Football, you can't win in football by coincidence or by prayer. It requires serious investment. If Lone Star wants to do well, the first thing they need to do, they're not the generation of bluff boy and who fly in the air, spray in the air. You're not even making yay. Then you spray in your hair, getting yourself hard time. You get big water bottle. You the going get 3 that you should be passing around misbehaving. You went to 4 that you should be spraying your hair and be adding you something. You're not even arrived yet. You're not even arrived. To tell you, they're not even focused. Let me tell you something. They need to invest in the younger players now to build a total new generation. For example, in Aracos, they have the Academy of the ASEC Mimosa. In that academy, that's where you got all those big players that you see playing for Arsenal, they're playing for the other team. They go there and see them. So we need to build that. So the Ivorians have invested. Let me tell you, apart from Drogba, who played in France and he was recruited from that end, what are the Yaya Toure, the Polo Toure, all the guys, all of them came from the academy and they brought them into. So the people prioritize the league over there. Imagine our BB player then be playing for Africa Sport, which is equivalent to Barrow in Liberia. And you understand? So it's not coincidental, my brother. There has to be deliberate, there has to be serious, there has to be also intentional investment in the team.
You are saying you are balancing all of the things that you are saying because of, for example, you are also shifting most of the blames also on the players that in fact they're not serious. And 2, you are also saying that maybe because of lack of support. Am I correct?
Well, I would say on a bigger note, even though you won't put me in a situation I can handle, I will handle it. I will say to you right now, the truth of this matter here is it is the combination of a lot of different things, my brother. First of all, the investment part of it. Second of all, the discipline. Let me tell you something. Football to play, you got to be disciplined. My man, when we were playing, there are some things that we didn't do. Imagine you get a Jew and you own camp. And they tell you you can't do something, so you own camp. You fat. But they say you can't do something. You just dead. You just tired of saying, what they sucking your team, but you dead. You understand? The 2 seconds even see you. Imagine you go to bed a certain time, you wake up a certain time to go train. That discipline, my brother. Because football, that professionalism. Say what you like about Josh Weah. When Josh Weah was playing, Josh Weah was disciplined on the team. Josh Weah stuck with a training regimen. He stuck with everything that was, even the food you eat. Can you imagine? Look, to tell you the amount of investment that in there, they're not in Labra where they say you be player, then you come to camp. While all your friends are on camp, you show the camp, or you bounce, you say you can't be on camp, you go lay down to one game play. In the morning, you wake up, you say you won't play. That lack of discipline too. So that part comes for the player there. Second of all, let me say this to you. I think Labra needs an international coach. And they need to start giving, when the white coach then come, they need to start being jealous. The man I'm poisoning there.
Again, are you recommending again for another international coach? Because
I'm recommending an international coach that will build a younger team. Let me tell you something. They need to invest in the younger generation, the young talents. I'm telling you right now. There has to be huge investment.
So what you made of the counter meet, you don't see or maybe like for example, to just add up to what you are saying. So can we also use the counter sport meets as a way of building up our national team, or maybe our football activities or maybe our football here in Liberia?
Well, most definitely you could, but the truth about the county meet also that bunch of old men who bring the age that play inside. You understand? You get somebody who like jaw standing and a V on the face all standing. You tell me say the man are 16-year-old. And so take that one. You carry that one on an international scene. You just be looking for it in the town. We're not here for that one. We're not gonna do that. So the county meet could be a place where talents could be recruited, but then the talent, let me tell you something, football get age better behind you, Melbourne.
Yes, indeed.
If you bring some hello old man and things say that hello old man will later what they got, my brother, you wasting your time. So no old man, they can't say the 16 when they make it, they can make it to Europe, they can make it other places. When they carry them for the training set, they what they got. So like money picking and they can show leg. So the whole content maybe you need to be revisited, especially in terms of ages, in terms of so forth. And not only that, the contest set need to be empowered to maintain these players before the contest meet. The only time you see players that come here around, when contest me around. Don't be honest.
Indeed.
No contest me around.
Still to add up to that, most of our players, in fact, someone else say to us that, oh, we make more money doing the counter sport means than another league.
Yes. Most of them make more money during that time. That's true. They count the hustle and they go back. After the counter meet, all the talents that you see in the counter meet, where are they? We don't see them again. So maybe the counters need to be empowered. Same we're going to talk about the legislature. Maybe they need to be empowered so that they can start recruiting, training talents for the counter meet. So that when time to counter meet, somebody can move from Monserrato and can play in Nima Kante. It will be unfair to the talents that are in Nima Kante.
Good.
You understand?
Indeed, myself, I serious problem with that, Steve. Myself, you can be playing for Bomina, for example, then you go play for Lofa, or maybe all the time you
go
play for
next season you play for Lofa, next season you play for Bomi. That's a discrepancy. But I hear from Monk, what's going on? What do you see about the whole African Cup of Nations for getting politics?
Well, the African Cup of Nations, I mean, I've been following, but the first few games I watched, I'm not impressed in terms of the attendance and in terms of the opening, the performances. You know, I follow soccer worldwide. I know that there's one of the least generation of talent that I've ever seen, even in Europe. I'm a kid that started following mostly in the 90s and early 2000s. Like the caliber of player that I saw during those days is not nothing close. I can remember in the mid to the late 90s, all the leagues were competitive, even in Europe. You could name 10 strikers in the world that were on almost equal level. You could name the leg of Trezeguet, whether it's Batistuta, whether it's George Weah, whether it's Ronaldo, whether it's Christian Vieri. You cannot name 5 strikers in the world today, not even 3 in terms of world-class striker. So the same thing I'm saying there happening in Africa, where you don't see that much of a talent. You see a bunch of average players, the momentum in the game. You don't see coordination. You don't see brilliance, individual. You know, I can remember the 1998 Cup of Nations when you had people like Mustafa Haji. You had top player, the Rasheni Yakini, the Amokachi, the Steve Ricketti. Yeah. You also Joe Terry, Abdullah Touare, yeah. Hussein Gabzi. Yeah. Philemon Masinga, Benny McCarthy. No, you don't see anything close to that. So the game is literally there worldwide. I mean, you don't have too many talent, but guess what? The least generation ever in human history are the one making the most money because of the marketing.
I wanted to ask you about the money part of it, though. Do you think the money has covered or influenced the talents to the point that even somebody that Neymar and making all the BB money, but then they're not even living up to expectation to go party, no discipline, nothing. Now everybody running to the Middle East to make money as opposed to being competitive in Europe like it was before. What do you think?
Yeah, the money is having an impact, but because they say economically, they say people are supposed to respond to incentives. So technically, the more money you pay a player, the more he's supposed to perform. But right now, it's all about marketing and endorsement. And one of the reasons too, because we live in a technology era, so you know, marketing and TV is all about viewership. The most people that watch the league, the most businesses run their commercial, the more money you make. So you look at a guy like Neymar that taking almost $45 million per season. And every time he's injured, he got more earrings and tattoo on him than a tattoo artist. So he's not even pushing forward. When Neymar made more money in a year than maybe 5 players made in their career, throughout their career during the 90s or early 2000s. That just tells you the kind of a discrepancy that you can pay 204 million euro just to transfer a player from one team to another. It just tells you now that it's a whole different era we are living in. And it might get worse. There will come a time that a soccer player will be worth $1 billion, and you will see that. Why do you think Messi came to Inter Miami? Because when you put his TV deals and everything as part of the paycheck, Messi will be walking out with 1.6 billion by the time the contract comes to an end. Can you imagine that at the end of a career, not even the prime of his career? So we are living a marketing era now, and right now, too many people are not stressing it in terms of performance and trying to be the best, because whether you do it or not, the money is already there by virtue of the marketing aspect. That's just it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree with you. But then in Liberia, it's the opposite, wherein there is no financing, there is no support. Player got to come from playing, and they got to look for. First of all, as a player, that's what we eating certain food. Yeah, the diet said a problem.
The diet said to get every food in the days.
Yeah, so even the raw talent is there. Let me tell you something. The raw talent can be there when it is not nurtured, when it is not guarded and protected. I don't care how much you can eat football with your teeth, my brother. You're not going anywhere. That's why when in Europe and other places, when they see the raw talent, what they do is that they bring that raw talent, nurture it, they guide it, they protect that raw talent, and then you see it. Look, let me say this: if John we are going to remain in Liberia, we are Ibaro, Canada will not even know him because you know what happened. The first thing was going to be man buying the dead hands to be small player, John we are nice to be small player, Ibaro days, but nothing going on for him.
Let me tell you something, Steve. The scenario just lay. In Liberia, it's not only about the marketing, it's just about the idea and the little investment people got to make in the talent. Let me tell you, dating back as far as the date of Georgia, when people say, oh, it was normal day in Liberia and things were going okay, the most a player could get was baking or minister or going to those Fuller guys, Wallaside Market, going to Camp Johnson Road from store to store. We never had program for even the people that were playing for the IE and the Barrow and the Fuller Natives and Joseph Warrior. They were not on a fixed paycheck. Look, we went to Ghana early in the 2000s. I went to Accra House of Oak practice ground. Those guys were coming with Mercedes. I mean, for a player that have never played in Europe, never traveled, those guys had a 3-bedroom apartment. I mean, they were not wealthy, but at least for the soccer they play, they were getting paid and living better life in their own country without even going to Europe. Can you say the same for our normal day IE and Barrow or Fulani or the St. Joseph Warrior? No, they were just beggars. Maybe if you're talented player, the most thing you will benefit from sleeping with a lot of women like bro, born in children. Oh yeah, and then at the end of the day, you either go beg Samuel Doe or Alaji Kroma or you part of Ellen Johnson Sally office. That's all they were doing. They were never on pay. We never been having a structure in our country. And that's the thing. It's about idea, it's about structure. If you got businesses to pay taxes and promote the league, maybe you can put player on salary. Trust me, the league will improve. That's why in Liberia now, people will choose to go watch Barcelona playing, then they waste their time to go watch Lone Star playing on the SKD. Because players realize that there's nothing there to play for, so you're not going to get anything better than, from me. That's just why it is.
And even as that, Monk, before we go to the news bulletin here, because we don't want to get into the actual political conversation before we get to the news bulletin, then we'll be lost in the trench here, right? But even as that, Monk, places like Aricos, like I was saying earlier, look, these people have invested so much in the sport over there that talents are recruited from there. The government gets an incentive. Places, teams like Arsenal, Barcelona, Madrid, and these big teams in Europe, other places, they look to the academy in Aricos, academy like the ASEC Mimosa, and they start training these children from a very young age. Look at the Kolo Toure, look at the
Yaya Toure, the Ibue, all these guys, they are all academy players.
They came from that. They're from Aricos. You understand? They saw talent in them. They nurtured them. They brought them, or they gave them the support. Look, you go to the academy in Aricos, especially the ASEC Mimosa Academy. Look, those guys produce, and ASEC Mimosa is more like IE. Yep. Today, guess what? One senator is in charge of IE, Sir Joseph. When you bring one jersey from America, the Fulani jersey and give it to them, everybody happy. Yeah. The player then got to go over Sonny and say, oh, player, each chicle. They come, when they call small ref for them, they go and play, they tell them you're going to be small team, we go on a camp, go on camp. You know, the small team will contribute that, it will buy for. How can you even focus as a player when you're hungry?
Yeah.
When we used to play, I tell you that when we used to play, we saw the struggle in it. Because you know what happened? You are responsible for your own boost.
Yeah, your own boost.
That's the first thing. You're responsible for your own shinga. Yeah. You're responsible to appear decently. But not only that, when you go on camp, everybody looking at everybody fail. For full set to come on camp.
Yeah, you can. So how you
sometimes also what you do, I know some of my coaches who watching will get there. We used to run out on 10 also too. You understand, Melbourne? You get a lady in the community, you run there and go eat something and come out.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Wait,
That's the fact. That's the fact.
I saw sit down the camp and that
Yeah, you got that one.
Your own business.
You got to get tea and bread. You talk about tea and bread for a soccer player.
That's all folks, that's a blessing. There's a huge reward in investing in the sport. So what we used to do, even my coach didn't want to tell me. What we used to do, my man Melbourne, camp time, we time 1 or 2 hours, man. We tell us we'll bring them something back. We run away from the camp.
Yeah.
And we don't show back off in the camp till 5:36 in the morning. But that time, guess what we're gonna do? Not only that we're not eat red, but we're not do other things too. Then we come out now, no energy. You understand? Nothing going on.
But Steve, what you just said, the thing, the lack of investment, people don't understand. You see, sport and art, it appeals to your soul. It sets the tone for even a country concerning young people. Look, when we were in Liberia, growing up over there, how many of our age groups to see engaged into politics? Everybody want to go to sauna. Even the high school league was still up to standard. It was even competitive. Junior high school league, because people were into sports, Not too many. You look in a country, you don't have an investment. You don't give young people the incentive to do anything better. Everybody is on intellectual forum. You only causing the country more pain because you're going to get nothing out of it. Why should a 20-year-old or 19-year-old maybe talking to politics when he should be playing sport, going to class function, academic challenge? A month time, that's all it was. You're a smart kid. You study all day. You won't play media challenge. You won't go play your high school league, and you want to talk about sports. That's it. But no,
I think before Melbourne go to the news bulletin here. Look, Mom, one of the things that people don't understand about sports, there's a huge psychological component to it, and the psychological component of sport is important than even the physical skills. Because if you are not mentally and psychologically prepared for sports, or to engage into sporting activities, you still be worrying about your baby man and get food and you go perform good on the field. It doesn't work that way. So yes, I'm confessing today because I'm Martin Luther King Day. I'm confessing. I used to run away from camp, go to my team. But you understand? I will go to my lady hall. Sometimes I got 2-3 in the community. I will pop to all 2-3 crates, certify everybody before they get in the morning. Before the afternoon attire. You understand? Because when I pire, that my life not together too. You remember you see it? Then when I go on that's what I mean up attire.
And yeah, another thing apart from the psychological part, even the academic side, do you always observe that kids that are actively engaged into sports, they are always smarter in school in terms of their grade and their performances? Because your brain and your muscles, they are all coordinated. Your brain is also a muscle. The same way you go into the gym to lift a weight, when engaging into sports, it have an effect as to your performance academically. That's why in universities here, when you're on scholarship, they hold you to a certain GPA, because if you're early, it means that you still be way smarter than the regular people that are not into sports as well. So it have an impact in terms of your grade and stuff. So it's a good thing to play sports and be involved into the arts.
Yes, Melbourne, my man, before you go, today we talking there, everybody feel offended buying the days. You understand? That buying the days thing. We 2024
but Steve, to you and other Brazilian monk, you guys are correct 100%. This is why we are not really getting the kind of results that we all want. Just because we don't want to invest. Because some of us, we play the game, and people are leaving the game just because they're not getting the kind of support that they want. So at the end of the day, you have to leave. You got to go hustle. You got to go think about how to get your little bread. What time you get to go play football? So later on, we're going for the news break, and trust me, when we come back, we're going to discuss. We're going to be with you, and up to 8 o'clock on tonight.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll get Melbourne back when he's done. But Monk, while we set the stage here for the political conversation, I'm getting some text messages now. Some people visit. Also, that I used to treat me, but let me read it here. Also, that I used to treat me back in the day. You have more than one Jew. Eat that thing, mama. That thing, that long time thing. The other way we're talking about, other way in, Monk is here. I will be discussing 90s. You still be catching feeling for 9 days. Leave that thing, mama. We're not on that thing right now. We're discussing 2024. We've been moved long time. As you see all of that, who's gonna be worried about what do you have to forgive me, yeah, mama? Forgive me that yeah, forgive me that we're in the community. That's what we're in the community, mama. We're in the community, and there's no way we'll lie. We were in the community. Yeah, you understand? But mom, what was I saying? Back in the day, that was happening.
But
So
I guess life.
yeah, so things happen. Things happen. Just forgive us. If we could do it again, we'll not do it again. You know, we know better now. That's how we know better. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing.
You are experimenting.
Yeah, we're just passing around the time. You know, because they say you play or you be player or whatever it is. So you just passing around, making yourself funny in the time. So that we are on today. You know what I'm saying? So sorry, you know, sorry to the other people too. If you didn't know, sorry. We're here to talk it to that Martin Luther King Day. We got to make a day, you know, clear, clean, transparent, fair. You're sorry. You all get bent. Don't forgive us. But anyway, let's move on to the conversation. Because if we get in the social conversation, mom, they know
If you get into the social conversation, it will start getting ginger around here, right?
Yeah. It will not be easy. I can see some of my body or my body tells me, say, don't call my name on the show. But I will not call your name. My body, everybody checking. Some of my body who are married down that town tell you, let me see if they tell you. They tell you. All my married body to tell. I'm not calling any gentleman. I will keep with a call. I don't want taking a shot here. I will take a shot today. That Martin Luther King Day. But Monk, what do you make of this day, Martin Luther King's Day? I know some people watching it, they laughing, they bad now. They just bad, they're fraud. Y'all leave it up that something. They're just politics now. What do you know of Martin Luther King Day, Monk? What does it signify to you and maybe to the world? Maybe some people don't know. What do you make of it?
Well, the Martin Luther King Day is one of the most historical. Martin Luther is one of the most historical figures in human history. He set the tone for us with the melanated skin color, black people. He set the agenda through nonviolence movement, and that's why it is. He gave black people an opportunity. You know, people always talk about equality as in the equality only exists on paper. We talk about equity. That's what Martin Luther King did, because during his time, people were deprived of certain fundamental right. And his advocacy literally turned things around America. So Martin Luther King was not fighting for equality, he was fighting for equity, because we are not equal. I tell people, talent and resources are unevenly distributed around the world. You know, one of my homeboys will argue about that. I talk about equality. I said, no, we are only equal in the eyes of God as human. But when it comes to the world, the fleshly world that we live in, there is nothing they call equality. Somebody will discriminate you against one way. I gave you an example. I said, Didier Drogba and John Terry plays on the same team, they wear the same jersey. Why you think Drogba making more than 240,000 pounds a week when John Terry was literally making 80 to 90,000 pounds? Because the talent is not the same. Drogba scored more goals, he got more talent than Terry. So the market is going to give him based on his work. That's just how it is. Some people had a chance to go to Ivy League institutions. Some people went to a regular university. So there is nowhere in the world to get anything called equality. We are not equally equal. We got different gifts. We got different talent. But when you advocate for equity, then everybody got a chance to make better of themselves because the opportunity is there. Our black people couldn't drink from certain faucet. They couldn't ride certain buses. They couldn't go to certain university. And the King advocacy, it was one of the greatest in history in terms of social and political movement that fundamentally transformed the United States, and it reverberated all over the world. And people try to imitate Dr. King to bring about some level of change. So it's a very important and significant day, most especially for us black people. That's how I see Dr. King.
Okay. I think we should go to the news bulletin. Let's hear from it a little bit. I don't know what you think, Mark.
Yep, maybe that would be okay.
Let's.
He added that he will work with the UP's government to ensure that the roads leading to the southeast are paved as anticipated by his party, the CDC's government. Speaker Funati Kofa ended by thanking his colleagues for entrusting him to lead them and vowed that members' interests will be prioritized. but issues surrounding the interests of the Liberian people will be key. At the same time, a Lofa County District #1 representative, Thomas Fala, has been elected Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Representative Fala was elected during a secret ballot on Monday, with 42 votes ahead of his rival Representative Musa Bedited of the Liberty Party, who obtained 24 votes. Representative Fala, being a staunch member of the city seat and elected Deputy Speaker, many political pundits believe that it will not be business as usual at the legislature for members of the executive. Representative Fala, whom many of his colleagues over the time have accused of pocketing their benefits while serving as chair on Ways, Means and Finance, was however hugely supported by many of his accusers, mainly from the 54th legislature. Grand Bassa County Senator Nyobli Kanga Lawrence has been elected on white ballot as President pro tem of the Liberian Senate. Senator Lawrence of the Unity Party's alliance replaces Senator Abbott Chie of the outgoing ruling Coalition for Democratic Change. She becomes the first elected female pro tem of the Liberian Senate and the second in history. Speaking after her induction, Senator Nyobli Kanga Lawrence described her preferment as a life-changing moment in the history of Liberia. She praised her colleagues, family, friends, the citizens of Grand Bassa County, as well as the Liberty Party for the overwhelming support, making her the first amongst equals. According to the new pro tem, she has broken the barriers as it relates to women's participation in politics, as they are often bullied by their male counterparts, giving her story as a case study. Meanwhile, Senator Nyobli Kanga Lawrence has vowed to declare her assets this week as means of demonstrating transparency and accountability in the governance of Liberia. According to her, her administration will succeed because the current Senate is blessed with many inexperienced professionals from various backgrounds. Senator Kanga Lawrence at the same time lavished praises on President-elect Joseph Boakai and Vice President-elect Jeremiah Combs for the overwhelming support accorded her. Pro tem Kanga Lawrence prayed for God's blessings upon Liberia through the Liberian Senate. In a related development, the Liberian Senate has named Senator James Bannon of Maryland County as chair on executive, Amara Conan of Wapolu County chaired on public account and audit, Prince Johnson of Neighbor County chaired on internal affairs, Senator Darius DeLong chair on foreign affairs, and Wapolu Brown of Maryland County chaired on rules, order, and administration. Others are Edwin Snow of Bowman County, Representative 1 at the ECOWAS Parliament, while Senator Alex Taylor is ECOWAS Parliament Representative 2. Momo Cyrus of Lofa County heads the Defense and Security Committee, as former pro tem Abbott Chie chairs the Committee on Public Works. Several persons believed to be employees of the United Security Insurance Company on Monday morning blocked the main entrance of the Environmental Protection Agency. According to the protesters, their action was choked by the alleged failure of the company to pay their over 3 years salary arrears, but always blaming the EPA's management for refusal to pay over 200,000 United States dollars rental fees owed the company for the building hosting the EPA. The protest, according to our reporter who visited the scene, lasted for an hour before authorities of EPA and head of the aggrieved employees went for closed-door meeting to resolve the situation. Speaking to reporters, the chief executive officer and chairman of the United Security Insurance Company of Liberia, Mohamed Kouyaté, expressed disappointment in the EPA's management for failing to pay their over 3-year rental fees, an action he said made the institution unable to pay its employees. According to Kouyaté, they have consistently engaged EPA's management and other relevant authorities, but to no avail, adding they will not rest until the issues are addressed. Meanwhile, the executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Professor Wilson Tappert, admitted owing the company through a lease agreement. According to him, the Liberian government entered a lease agreement with the United Security Insurance Company of Liberia, and the annual payment, which is in the tune of 48,000 United States dollars, has to be made through the Ministry of Finance. Professor Tappert promised to work with the aggrieved party to ensure their plight is addressed in the soonest possible time. The Civil Law Court has issued a writ of summons on Speaker Fonati Kofa in connection with his alleged U.S. citizenship saga. Judge Goddard Elliott's January 15 writ of summons, according to RCA judicial correspondent, was as a result of a petition for declaratory judgment filed by the Unity Party against the National Elections Commission and Councillor Kofa. In the petition, the UP alleged that the Grand Creek County lawmaker, who is an American citizen, is not qualified to occupy an elected position under Liberian laws. The UP referenced Article 4, Section 1 of the Act to amend or nullify certain provisions of the Aliens and Nationality Law relating to citizenship and restoring rights lost. The petition, among other things, further stated that a Liberian citizen who holds the citizenship of another country shall not be eligible for any elective public office while still a citizen of another country. The person must renounce the citizenship of the other country at least 1 year prior to applying to any seat to contest. This, they believe, was ignored. The January 15 raid comes following the election of Councillor Fonati Kofa as Speaker of the 55th Legislature. RCA judicial correspondent further said that Councillor Fonati Kofa and NEC have been instructed to file their formal appearance or returns on or before January 25 as provided by law. If you're just joining us, a reminder that you are listening to a bulletin of news coming to you from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. In more news, implementers of a campaign aiming to give the RIA corridor a facelift for the inaugural ceremony of Joseph Boakai are calling for expeditious efforts to remove huge pile of debt accumulated from the exercise. Speaking to RCA News Monday, two executives of the group, Sam Dickerson and Chris David, maintained that failure by the party to provide trucks for the debt removal will signal a high level of indecency to guests coming to grace the inaugural ceremony. They want Representative Ava Jones of Margibi County to take the lead and ensure that the debt from the clean-up exercise is removed from the RIA corridor before January 22 because the road from the airport to Monrovia begins from his district. Away from Liberia, Guinean military authorities have arrested French journalist Thomas Dietrich amid reports of authoritarian press freedom situation in the West African country. The journalist was arrested on Sunday in the capital Conakry while investigating alleged corruption in the country's national oil company. Sources say the journalist was interested in how certain officials of Guinea's transitional government had acquired their wealth and had been in the country for several days to investigate SONAP. It is not the first time Mr. Dietrich is arrested in Guinea. In March 2020, he was arrested and deported after he filmed a police crackdown on an opposition demonstration in the capital, Conakry. To end this news program, a recap of the top stories. The 54th Liberian Legislature had come to an end as a result of the ushering in of certificated representatives to the legislature. Grand Bassa County Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence has been elected on white ballot as President pro tem of the Liberian Senate. Several persons believed to be employees of the United Security Insurance Company on Monday morning blocked the main entrance of the Environmental Protection Agency. In a way from Liberia, the BBC says Guinean military authorities have arrested French journalist Thomas Dietrich amid reports of authoritarian press freedom situation in the West African country. That's RCA News Bulletin at 7. My name is Olivia Baum. Good evening.
We want to thank True FM for the news bulletin.
19 minutes down, 7 o'clock. The very next thing you hear news on the station will be at 8 o'clock on tonight, by which time we'll bring you 45 minutes of news coming from our newsroom, True FM 96.1. So, Steve and the Representative Monk will be back. No much time, so let's just move straight into our discussion for today.
Yes, thank you, Lebon. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you for following and sharing the show. We want to thank you so much. We also want to thank Monk for being here this afternoon. Folks, a lot of things been happening. Monk, what is your take on this whole news bulletin? What did you take from there?
Well, just listening to the new leadership coming into the legislature. I know it's the same old. I tell people once again, I have a structure and a system in place. It does not matter the individual that come and go. That's just what institutions are all about. Institution is evolve individual. You put things in place and people can get better results. I know all these people that are coming, they're just going to make way more money. The system committee, they will get far more richer than you, the average person like bro, and nothing's going to change for you. That's what I know. That was my take on the whole news bulletin and the whole dual citizenship thing, because that's why it's all about, in Liberia, they tell us to be nationalistic. Once a Liberian will always remain a Liberian. Once that person is a natural born Liberian, there is nothing you can do to take away the Liberian citizenship, in spite of how many passports they carry. But we live in a society that thrives on division and greed. So at the end of the day, people don't aspire to better policy. They don't look at the positive thing. Every time you make a law, there will always be flaws in law. There will always be loopholes. But the reason people make laws because it benefits a lot of people. Let me just give you a typical example in the US here. When they came with the social safety net under Roosevelt to give people, some people call it handout, like food stamp and medical and all this stuff. There will always be people that will take advantage of this system. There will be working men who will refuse to work because they want something free. But at the end of the day, you don't look at the negative side, you look at the positive side, because there will be cases. There are kids that are from poor families that will need food. They want their children to be healthy in terms of nutrition. So they pass laws because they benefited, because of the positive, not because of the negative. In Liberia, everything, the first thing they look at is the negative aspect before the positive. And that's just why it is. Towards citizenship, they want to stop people from getting certain jobs. They want restriction. I mean, you look at a country that is at the bottom of the barrel in terms of social economic development, rather than embracing people from all walks of life. I tell people, I say, the way Liberia is a capital drain, or let's just say intellectually drained, where we lack in certain discipline, in certain profession. People even want to put in place system that our children that have been born in America will even have the mindset to go Liberia and contribute. But guess what? The very first thing that will come to mind when you're thinking about come to Liberia is for government job. And the people there think that by stopping you or by trying to contribute, they think it's to their advantage when in fact it's to their disadvantage. Because the more opportunity you create, it doesn't matter whether you on the ground or from overseas, everybody benefits. Do you think America cares about how many people come here once they come here legally or which background they come from? No, because they look at the positive side of immigration. That when you bring people with diverse ideas, the country tends to benefit in the long run. Because people come here, they contribute and they make this country a better and a great country. But unfortunately for our country, it's the total opposite to the rest of the planet. We are on a look, the case for Liberia is just like it's not even on planet. It's like we are on a different stratosphere in life. That's just why it is.
Thank you, Mark. Folks will, I listen to the news. The reason I'm laughing is because we are indeed an interesting group of people. The first thing that caught my attention was the Unity Party taking Fanati Kofa to court. And let me just say for the record, the current speaker of Fanati Kofa, because he was voted in today, let me say for the record, I don't support Fanati Kofa. I don't support the Kung, Richie Kung. Nope. I have no support or any kind of attachment to any one of them. Let me just say that for the record. But it is also interesting that some United Party people, they support Fanati Kofa against Clarence Masakwedo to be deputy speaker to Buffer's Chambers under the same administration that will be turning power over. Oh, so he wasn't an American citizen when they did that. They see Richard Kuhn was in support of Fanati Kofa to be speaker, Richard Kuhn. Let me say speaker, to be deputy speaker, Richard Kuhn. So, which one is which? I'm still trying to, kind of understand this whole thing. But that's one of the issues that I got from the news. The other part I got from the news, Thomas Van deputy speaker, with other is that.
The country is a North case.
We fought that inside.
Yeah, Alex Tyler on committee still in our country. Yeah.
We fought that inside. We fought that inside. That's another point that caught my attention. But the election of Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence as pro tem. And she ran on right ballot. Very interesting in the Senate. I want to wish Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence all the best. And we'll hold her accountable, just so you all know for the record. We will hold her accountable. We will hold her feet to the fire. We will. We will not relent. We will. Fanati Kofa will hold Fanati Kofa feet to the fire. Those are things that caught my attention, though. So the United Party went to court for Fanati Kofa. The election is over. Monk, do you think the election will stand, the result will stand, Fanati Kofa will be the Speaker of the House, or do you think the court will overturn that?
Well, I don't know how the court is going to interpret the law, but I just know that there is an impossibility to try to take citizenship from someone that is a natural born Liberian by virtue of the same constitution. But they are the legal scholars. We will let them to decide that. I'm only looking at the process and the reason, because it's a draconian reason. It's like you are setting your wrong precedent when you cannot. You see, the thing about lawmakers is all about negotiation, it's all about backroom deal. It's all about making a phone call and trying to win someone's support. But like I said, in Liberia, we always look at the negative. We always go to the bottom of the barrel. So the very first thing they're coming for citizenship. You know, this citizenship thing is almost like the new version of Congo versus Native. That's why Liberia has always been about division, about creating a wedge in society, and people wonder why we don't make progress. That's how I see it. It's the new coded language for Congo versus Native. That once you are opportune to come overseas, somehow you are the enemy to the people back there. When in reality we are all the same. Moses, you live in foreign country. When last you saw the typical Ivorian that went to France that came by and was maltreated, or people thought he was different just because he lived portion of his life in France?
But in fact, Monk, thank you for bringing articles out, because let me report to the Liberian people. The early 90s, when they had President Ufo Boigny, there was the talk about the current president, Alassane Ouattara. Look, life is interesting. Alassane Ouattara served in the position of finance minister. At some point, they decided to make politics out of everything. All the time he served there, he was not foreigner. But when the time came for him to run on the ballot, they said he was foreigner. He couldn't run as president. It was a serious back and forth. Serious back and forth in Ivory Coast. Until lately, before Alassane Ouattara won the election. And for the record, Alassane Ouattara, Muslim male. But Christian live in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is well on path and on course of development. You know why? Because the people close their mind to tribalism, to religious bigot. They open their mind to unite themselves as a nation to move forward. So finally, all that noise of the man being Muslim and the man from France and he not this, it was buried. Alassane Ouattara won the elections, and the country is on a trajectory, on a path. When you go to Ivory Coast, you know, let me tell you something. Some Liberia, you can be giving yourself flying to Ghana, running to Ghana, that you're small America. Don't run to Ghana. Go right Ivory Coast. It's not far. Instead of spending all that money to go Ghana, don't go there. Go to Ivory Coast. Go see life. Maybe you need to talk later on. Yeah, he was prime minister on Ufo Boigny. But then when he wanted to run for presidency, Abraham Kane, you're following. When he wanted to run for the presidency, they wanted to stop him from running. But look,
yes,
maybe we'll talk beyond close door for us to make sure we sponsor you on a trip to Ivory Coast. I just want you to go there, take picture, see life, and then come back. So you can tell what's going on.
I will be part of the initiative as well, just to get an outside view and to experiment. To go and see
that with the leadership there and see how best we can get you to Ivory Coast. We just want listen, just go there and chill. You know, as an open groom, you understand?
You don't want me to even come back here because if I go Africa, I'm not saying I will even find my way back home. Because look, let me be frank. You see me or Steve, another business more. For me, this is why I hate what they call religious talk. You know, people. I'm Christian, I'm Muslim. I hate it. I hate the or tribal politics. Tribal, you know, where I'm this. I'm from. No. Because all of these things have no good impact on the life of the people. At the end of the day, you continue to be bringing tribal politics, religious politics, all this other one. You are not developing the life of the people. The people are still living in a poor life. And you feel that all is well. Every time we hear about it, the other one has said this, the other one has said this, all your time with all of the news and all the things. So for me, I feel that, yes, indeed, everything go back to all of you who are on that side, because you know whenever the kind of news come up, people want to suppress or maybe to see that other Liberians who have the mind of investing, who want to develop their own country, just because they go into another land and fight high to have their status, and you want to deprive them of certain things. For me, I think I've seen that these are some of the reasons why today we're not moving anywhere. You go up, you come down. President Monk, I will text our Liberian government officials here. They won't answer. But you, President Monk, or another Steve, just text them with a 01 number. They will respond to you immediately because they feel that maybe they want to get something out of you, but they're not thinking about what you will be bringing back home for your people.
It's sad. That's the mindset we're talking about. And it's part of our culture in Liberia. You just said it right. And it's a business model, like I said, for the politicians, the people who are doing extremely well in an impoverished society. They will want the society to remain that way because they feel if Liberia is at the bottom of the scale and they can make X amount of money. They are the one that will be in the system. They are the one that make the laws. They are the one that capable. And don't mind, these are the same people that are fighting every day to get American citizenship. They are doing international wire transfer. They are buying homes and property here. But guess what? They want to create this illusion that when you are in the US or any part of the world, whether it's Canada or Australia, somehow you and myself, because Melbourne is in Liberia, then Brazilian monk and Melbourne should be rivals. And that's a lie. We all got the same background. The only difference is I had an opportunity to travel while you are waiting for yours, or if you choose to in the future. That's just why it is. And people always embrace people from overseas in any society, with the exception of Liberia. Because when I go to Ghana, I don't see a typical local Ghanaian friend or another Ghanaian from London or from Hamburg, Germany. Because you know the plenty in Hamburg, it's almost like the base of the Ghanaian. Everybody embrace everyone, but in that country, for some reason, I don't know. I really don't know.
Thank you, Monk. I want us to move a little deeper into this conversation, because we're talking behind closed door. If Melbourne cannot make it there, we'll see how best we can get one of these young guys to go there. Definitely, we want to bring you. We just want to do some competitive analysis.
No, we don't want for Melbourne to go, because Melbourne just got married. We got to take that.
Yeah, man. Steve, we brother to stop.
Yeah, but you say when you go, you're talking about your big asa, so we don't want you to be asa.
Yeah, but an opportunity. So maybe
okay, I take it back. Melbourne will go there. I take it back. Just keep the leadership to coordinate this so that we can get this go. But Melbourne and Monk, let's get into this whole election thing and open the line really quick here. Monk, do you foresee any change? The same CDC basically is running the House, and all bills, for the most part, most of the government runnings and the activities, for the most part, I wouldn't say all bills, let me take it back. Most bills originate from the House.
Oh, yeah.
So my question to you is, do you see any change, knowing that the CDC is running the House or is running one branch of government of the three? Do you see any change?
You said it right. Every legislation is originated in the House. That's why the House was created. That's why they call it the People's House. The people in the Senate, they are the upper house, but in terms of function in the government, they are a little bit limited as compared to the people in the House. The people in the House, they originate almost the vast majority of bills in government. So with CDC running the show, with them having, I would say, the majority, I don't know if there will be any love lost between the two in terms of working together, because I know seditionists will be there to make sure that Joseph Boaga is not a success as well. It will bring a massive division, and once they are the one running the show in the House, there will all be friction versus the people in the Senate. So I don't expect something to change. Except, but you know, sometimes maybe that's why Joseph Boaga started dishing out money much sooner. Maybe he might end up doing more, because when it comes to legislation and getting some of the things that he wants to pass through, maybe he will use the same. Because I know even if you are against Joseph Boaga as a lawmaker, I don't think they will refuse money. So Joseph Boaga will just have to spend a little bit more in order to get his mission to sign up on some of the bills and things that he would desire or that he would pass into law as a president. That's it.
Well, not Monk. Melbourne, what is your take? Do you think there will be any change? Quickly. Do you foresee any change?
I just want to start a little bit with my brother President Monk, because we've been here for nearly 80 years now. We've been observing all of our governance system, the way they work, the way they do things. So let's watch and see. Someone will say let's watch and see as to whether maybe there will be little changes. If so, then we'll be happy. But if not, then I think that our President Monk always saying we're not going nowhere.
Okay, thank you. Cyrus, really quick, you just joined us. I'm not sure if you were at the grounds of the Capitol today. I didn't follow. But what is your take? Any change on CDC running the House? Because the United Party came in with the mantra of rescue, but the same people who were controlling the entire House are still in control. So what do you foresee? Any change? What's new? Any update for this whole legislative process?
Actually, we all know Valentine won today. He is the speaker. Let me say good evening to all of you, to my big brother, President Monk, to you, to Steve and Mebon, to all our SKTV followers. Let me say good evening to you all. Yes, in regards to change, CDC, I think the United Party have a very strong opposition in the lower house. and they will have to face that. But again, can we trust these people? Because they have been the same people who have always taken brown envelopes. So, and the United Party, I know, they come to make no change. So the thing is, the brown envelope will still flow, but I think the United Party will have difficulties in passing some of or getting away with some of their wills, because the CDC is 25 in the House, Independent is 18. The CDC and the United UP will be fighting among the independent candidate, and we don't trust these guys. We definitely don't trust them. We can tell the public that 100% that we're going to trust them. No, we can't. So let's see how it proceeds from here. But I think that the United Party have a very strong opposition in the House, in the lower house.
Okay, well let me give my take really quick, and then I really want us to open the line a little early so we can hear from the people from Liberia. What do they think about the election today, and if they expect any change? If so, what that would be? But here's my take on this whole thing. I believe, and I stand to be corrected, that more likely so there will be no change. I also believe this is a staged noise, but later on they will all come back together and connive against the Liberian people. Whether that to pass bills, whether that to push money and move it around to benefit themselves. I believe this is exactly what we're going to get. The scene 5, 6, and 7. The only thing that we just get this framework that is the opposition to get balance of power. I do not believe there will be any needle moved. I don't believe so. I believe, in fact, I believe today, we the Liberian people set ourselves up. Because if you have a Thomas Fala, if you have a Fanatic Kofa,
Ellis Tyler,
you think about it?
Yeah.
Oh, let's move forward. But I open the line here for the Liberian people. You're hoping for better? That was yourself.
All right, so 0778 339682. That's the number to call again. 0778 339682. Please, 1 minute or maybe that's just a 30 second at most. 1 minute, please. Just be brief and go straight into the points. To yes, in this 077 0778 339682. Again, that's the number to call. 0778 339682. Let me get to the line. Pick up this first caller. To this caller, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, my brother. How you doing? Oh, Melvin, when I get you, go ahead, say. Go ahead, Melvin.
Yeah, I just want to speak up on my mind. About this government that comes in power. Yes, with the motorcyclists. Today, the people came, the AFO and the police, they came to the junction there. Very important junction, like the road at Valley, Marshall Road, and the airport road. The people came and said from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, any motorcyclists go on a main road. It's car came in another business.
Is that what happened today?
Today.
All right, thank you. But we are discussing about the leadership of to the caller. Go ahead.
I'm PMB with them and I do join you from Chester Rocola Tree.
All right.
Okay, I want to be very brief. Honorable Fanatic Kofa being elected today as Speaker and someone for our Deputy Speaker on Yampi protest. We think that leadership can bring good to the Liberian people because the purpose of going there is to serve the Liberian people. I listen to the analysis and the other police there in studio talking about that the same kinds of force. We don't know. It's possible this leadership can bring it good for us and it's possible they can bring evil for us. But we all are praying that the leadership today that won for election and won will bring good to the Liberian people. And Funati, the statement he made, Liberian are holding by one. He's not going to preach CDC politics. I'm a citizen, but he's saying he's not going to preach CDC politics. What it is in the interest of the Liberian people, it should be put on the floor, it should be discussed, it should be passed.
All right. It should be on the floor, it should be discussed, and it should be passed. So this caller, good evening. Oh, let me see. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief. No time.
Yeah, my Henry Kwame I call from the FDF.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that the decision today is right. And then let's look at the left of Madam Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Sally survived with a turn or two turns. You know, also, Mr. Brother can make a way too. So that is now a wrong decision. So I feel that the left of Sonny Kofa and that of Thomas Fowler is actually the right one.
Okay. All right. It's actually the right one. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, man, but go ahead, your name and from where you join us.
My name is Jeremiah and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I want to believe that the people that voted for those leaders don't make a mistake.
Okay.
The decision is was a good decision. Because we can't find people back, I mean, and then para with the very speaker position, and you can have been a right project.
Yes.
That is the structure, is a good structure. I want to believe that, even if you don't be 100%, we don't 100% GG on the expectation of we like people. But I think we see little bit, or GG, I think within the legislature, or within a while, it's upper house and the lower house.
All right. So the decision is the best decisions. Today's caller, good evening. Hello. Keep a call coming 077-833-9682. That's the number to call again. 077-833-9682. Call in and to be part of the show right here on Truth FM 96.1. Today's caller. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, my name is Martin Chelsea.
Yeah, go ahead. We're listening to you.
Yeah, my brother, I think Nigeria just is saying all that. All the people are going down for their popularity. New one over to.
Oh.
There'll be no change to make Nigeria men to see that in the leadership is only better for us. We give our time, and some of them on the referee, but we can be moving all of it.
All right. They're saying all leadership 01 in new bottle to this. Emmanuel Sano.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor. Good evening to Uncle President Mom and Uncle Steve. My name is Emmanuel Sano, but this could be that in Nigo. Let me say congratulations to Councilor Kofa and Mr. Fala and Senator Moran for their victory. Some of us are believing Councilor Kofa that the state legislature will be best because Kofa came with a lot of experience and he's not coming for CDC, he's not coming for anybody, but he's coming for the Liberian people. With the leadership that the legislature will be the most best leadership ever in Liberian history. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me see. I don't know, Pascal David, you try calling me, but let me see. Hello.
Yes, good evening, my brother in studio. I'm Waka Karen calling from Omega Review.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, it's magnificent on the part of the Liberian people for electing these two people. That is the will of the Constitution, and we applaud them. But we just want them, this is a start here to the Podanti and Thomas Farah. They have been working exceedingly, but now this is the time that we expect more from them. Not because they are in opposition, so they should put everything down that will come from the executive. We want them to law in the interest of the Liberian people. Let it be done again.
All right. Thank you so much. So let me go to Pascal Davis. Pascal, good evening.
People, good evening.
Yeah, man, but I know you are celebrating today.
We're celebrating the country. Always celebrated the country. So now personally, and now as a party. And I'm also hoping that you will make the trip to Africa and you will come back. And so we will join others to pray that the team out there can see means to have you sponsor.
Thank you. Thank you, boss.
But I hope Steve and the rest of the others will answer this. I don't know whether they are in agreement with the decisions of the Senate to allow Madam Yobli Kanga become potent on the post on the web ballot, especially in the democratic space where people should be given opportunity to tell the Liberian people what they ought to do and what they will opt for. But I'm not pleased with the decisions of the senators. We even saw positions in terms of committees on chairs of various committee be divided prior to the potent, elections that she won or was ballot. It didn't go down well with me. I would have thought that there could be an election where somebody will be given authority to lead this on an electoral process. But
all right, thank you so much, Pascal. The line is ready, Jamie. Steve and the Representative Monk, when you're ready for us to join you people, you let me know. So this caller, good evening.
Yeah, let's take two more.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to put you on live on the speaker, but it's like the line is ready. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Thank you so much. And to this caller, you'll be our last caller. Now, cross over to our team. Yeah, go ahead, your name. Okay, boss.
Yeah, thank you so much for the show, brother. I think, I've been following your whole analysis, and I think the decision today was best suited for Liberia. Because, the reason I'm saying this, my brother, in Liberia, we were very observing the lawmakers today from the administration, especially in the lower house. Now, what I posted on the social media, we're watching them from today determine their return in 2029. Because if we have a pattern of government, I think the Liberian people, everybody will be on the merit, will be watching them step by step. The legislature will be looked at, the executive will be looked at. So we want to see now who will go against the Liberian people.
All right. Thank you so much. So, Steve and the Representative Monk, you just listen to Liberians giving their own views or their own thoughts on all of the happening on today.
Okay, well, let's welcome Yasindi. Omar, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I know you probably been following the show here. Let's get your take really quick, and then we'll get to the rest of the panelists here. What is your take on the elections that happened today? Electing Yomli Kanga Lawrence, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence as pro tem, Thomas Fala, and also having Fanatic Kofa as the Speaker of the House. What say you?
Well, here it is though. And the same leadership that was there before, they only swap seats, positions. The 54th normally was committee chair for administration. Fanatic Kofa was the deputy. He just became a speaker. Fala has been there many times as a Ways and Means chair. So now let me say this: I don't anticipate anything big. What I anticipate, though, where the shift will happen, if you ask me, it would be in the attitude of the Liberian. If any change should come, the change will come from the people. Okay, now. And I'm going to stop here. Let me just stop here. I think the change will have to come from the people, not from those leaders, because they've been there. It is the same thing. Unless the people are willing to hold those people accountable, there will be no change. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm being very realistic.
Monk, let me ask you this question really quick here. Fanatic Kofa allegedly it's promising one economic crimes court from the legislature that they will sign off to it, or they will work to ensure that happens. Do you think if that happens, or under Fanatic Kofa's leadership, do you think that would set the page that they want something different, they want something new? What say you if they do that?
Well, that would be a very good thing, but I don't think that, I don't foresee that happening. No matter what Fanatic Kofa said, if Fanatic Kofa are interested in war economic crime code, I think he will push for it as well, even without being a speaker. And you want me to believe that just because CDC is in the opposition now, you said it right from the beginning that when it comes to the transactional type of politics, they will be the same group. They just got different label with different names. Like says, yeah, I said they just swap seat. So I don't expect anything to change until we can see that change happening. And it's up to the voters that put them there to hold them accountable. That's all we can say. You want me to believe that Fanatic Kofa will bring war and economic crime code because now he's supposed to be the opposition to Joseph Boakai? I don't think so. If anybody will have any chance of doing that, maybe the president elect himself. But unfortunately, he said he was willing to dance with devils, and I don't think he's going to throw his devils under the bus. But we'll see. You know, we can predict, we can make all the projections and make all the prediction. At the end of the day, is the day-to-day activity that will tell us where this government is headed in terms of delivering on their promises. You know, you can campaign all you want, but there's something they call governance. At the end of the day, you have to govern. So it's too early. We will give them a little time, but I will not buy anything. I will take it with a grain of salt that Fanatic Kofa will be the one pushing for war and economic crime code. I don't think so.
Sarah, you are on ground. You know, you see what's going on. You hear what's going on at first hand. Sometimes you are even there at the premise. You know, at the legislature. My question to you is, do you think Fanatic Kofa will keep up with this? Do you think Fanatic Kofa will ensure the one economic crime score or push for it? You know, knowing that Prince Johnson is in the corridor, and I know Prince Johnson will definitely respond to that. What do you say?
If you were ask me, I would see that as a big joke. Fanatic Kofa served as deputy speaker. He was in the house. Not a day he ever raised such a debate, or the past 6 years. So what now? Is it because he's speaker, or is it because Prince Johnson is an opposition to the CDC? I think that's just where that statement came from, but I don't see that statement being a reality until it is a reality. Because, I mean, like Maya Sally, there's no different here. These are the same people, and these people have been in our house. The only people who can take the bull by the horn here is the Liberian people themselves. The Liberian people gathering their number and demand for such a thing. It will come and demand the president-elect. But again, like Mon said, the president-elect is now dancing and whining with the devil because he believes that the devil has helped make him president. Is he going to sweep? Is he going to throw Prince Johnson, knowing that the Senator of Nima County, Prince Johnson, is or will be one of the sole victim of this particular war economic crime code? Especially knowing that he's been one of the strong opposition to war economic crime code. Will the government bring it? No. It will Fanatic Kofa. It's just something that they just want to flex muscle as an opposition. You know, the CDC now being an opposition. I don't see that coming. I don't see that coming to reality until that bring people themselves stand up and decide that they want this thing.
Okay.
So that's
so Maoma, what say you about the whole war in economic crime court? Do you foresee it? You've been here at the legislature here. You know, you've been on Capitol Hill here in the United States. You interact with these lawmakers. You know, and this is not to blow your horn. You know, you're in contact with them. You've testified and all of that. You know, the Liberian people have seen it is on record. Do you foresee this happening?
So let me tell you what my hopes are. Some of you know the papi were just here. They were meeting held, okay, which he gave his word. We're looking for him to hold up to his words. And besides that, if you remember, about a year and a half or 2 years ago, he also is noted in the Front Page Africa that he said he was going to bring one economic crimes court. We are looking for him to hold up to his word. Listen, we are relentless. Those who have called out the Miniskits, the war crimes, all of them are all ears. And if you saw the last time when they congratulated the Boakai, they let him know that they will hold him to his campaign promises. So that it still comes back to the citizens. All right. If you remember, we collected over 300,000 signatures. Okay. for war and economic crime scored. I can safely say majority of those people that were there. I'm hopeful that we will have the war and economic crime score. And another thing though, Fonati Kofa, and I'm going to say they have been in the back, whether he's playing or he's not playing, with us to some degree. So if he's saying that, I'm in the middle here. I'm not going to say nay. I'm not going to say yeah. So something might happen with him, and we will hold him to his word too. Because I've asked this question, and they said yes, he's in favor. But how has he been in favor for 6 years and he didn't do anything? So I'm still coming back to what Brazilian said. This is literally, we just changed jersey, or we swap team, but it is the same 6 and 7 in my opinion. And this is where we are. But the citizen, again, it comes back to the citizen holding the people that they elect accountable instead of kissing up to them. Democracy does not work if the citizens, if the leaders are not afraid of the citizen, or they're not afraid of the law.
So let me ask you this question. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think I have to put you on the spot on this one. Now, if President-elect Jose Yuma Braga came here and made promises and gave his words, do you think that would be undermining, betraying, or throwing on the bus his key ally, whether it's Spring Johnson, whether it's what other guy named who called himself, I don't know what kind of soya or whatever it is.
No, it's a game. No, it's a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but again, let me call it Rebel Neon, call him Jaguar Blind. Yeah, well, what say you, my we get, because I know we're pressed with time to leave the radio. I definitely want this question.
I wouldn't think so. Okay, I wouldn't. If you ask me, I wouldn't think so.
I want to follow up on that question.
If you ask me, I would think that would be leadership. If he actually believes what he said from the beginning, he wanted to pull Liberia. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. If he actually believes what he said from the onset, that he wants to put Liberia on the track to prosperity, he wants to change the trajectory of Liberia. You are talking about 5-10 men, okay? You are talking about men who have lived their life. If he makes that decision for me, I don't think it will be a betrayal. I think it will be patriotic because it will be saving the future of Liberia and saving posterity and putting Liberia on its right path. If he does that, I don't think it will be a betrayal. Because guess what?
All right.
The very people that were we are yesterday, that today we are left.
I want to make a last point before Melbourne leaves the radio.
Yeah,
the reason I'm saying it, you know, you got to see the thing from a very holistic standpoint. For Nanti Kofa, like at my age, I watch what people do instead of what people say. You know, maybe this could be a way of striking back because you can see the kind of a draconian means they are trying to wrestle the speakership out of Nanti Kofa's hand. And don't forget, Joseph Boaga, President Allah, that helped secure the presidency, he thumbed a finger into the eyes of Georgia and the CDC. So maybe there could be their own retribution by saying, you know what, we know you dance with the devil, and this stage we can use this as an opportunity to bring the war in economic struggle. So there's a possibility to that as well. I just want to make that point.
Thank you, Melbourne. Thank you so much, Melbourne. Thank you. I know you guys have a program to follow up with, folks. Follow us. We'll be here for the next few more minutes. Follow us on SKTV, LIB, YouTube. Please keep on because we want to keep the same panel. I want to get into this for the next maybe 15, 14 more minutes. And I want to go back. Cyrus, I'll get with you really quick, but I want to go back to my Oma here because this particular thing here, it might seem like it's a joking thing, but the point that Cyrus raises, which could be a retribution, not only from President Weah, not only from the CDC angle, but also Fanati Kofa, the fact that they're trying to raffle him and take this whole speakership for him, or all the halubalu he had to go through. Do you think Fanati Kofa would work with the executive to ensure the implementation of the World Economic Crime Code. Do you think we can trust Fanatic Kofa on that?
Well, Steve, trust is a very strong word. I don't trust any politician in Liberia. And politicians are the moving target. The move with the wind, whatever the next height is going to be is where to go. We've seen that with Pape Prince Johnson. We've seen that with many of them shifting from side to side. We've seen even our own Pape Boaka move from here and put everything from France on the line. No, but I know one thing though. I know that here Washington is watching. I know that for a fact, and they would all be held accountable. But I also believe what Brazilian Monk said that there would be a retribution. And besides that, even Pape Boaka has an unforgiving spirit. Okay, y'all saw when Yaka spoke the other day and said he told people he didn't want Yaka to come around him. Yaka is one of the reasons that he's a president today. You got to remember that. Okay, and then the story go back to the what they call it, the faithful nephew or whatever they call it, nephew. You go back to all of these things. When you chronicle these things, okay, the 17 grudges, and you come back to that. Then you come back to when Prince Johnson said to him that he was doing this, all the things that he said. He had not forgotten that. Why you think the Pape left the U.S. and went so he can formulate his team and make sure he's the president? Then he will make a decision. So I don't see that, but I think there will be a lot of payback. There will be a lot of payback. Let's watch and see. The music is just starting, but nothing is going to change. There will just be a lot of play by play. So we are watching them.
And Steve,
yes,
if we go with the whole idea that bills are initiated in the House, don't forget the president-elect allies are in the Senate. They are not in the House. And CDC got more members in the lower house. And if Fanatic Kofa sees this as a means that they're trying to target him, like I said, that would be his way of stinking back. And he will go this route because it's almost like there is a reason why they're trying to rouse power for him. Maybe that could be the reason that now that he controls the House, where bills and everything are initiated, and Unity Party is no longer in control of the House and their allies are in the Senate, then it means Fanatic Kofa is capable of inflicting a damage. That is if they keep pursuing him.
And Brazilian, let me come in quickly, Steve. Remember too, we have independence. We got some young people, okay, who are idealistic, who are coming in with different ideas. You saw Tag post the other day, and he kept to his words, okay? You saw that we got Yake, who has been very vocal, and he's going to stand up and continue to stand up for Liberia, okay? So we have a trust state here, right? You got the majority, which is opposition, that would be the CDC, okay? Then you got the 18 that's in between, that can shift anywhere. Then you got the Unity Party, right? So, Fanatic Kofa said the initial bill that they wrote that they're talking about the dual citizenship, they left it clean. There were no targeted people to do this, to do that. When it got to the Senate, that Delon then who changed it to stop people from the competition. All right, so they can go back and put a hold on that. And I still think, though, the judiciary should not have ruled that as a law because that's their job. All right, based on our constitution, where it says your birthright is inalienable, it cannot be taken away. So long you are born as a Liberian, your right cannot be taken away. You cannot change it. That contravents the law. It is unconstitutional. So, and you know what? Fanatic Kofa is a lawyer, and he has majority. They can do some work over there, like really, really quickly, and take it from there, and we'll all be standing in the middle. So maybe there will be a lot of rustle here. I don't see a smooth, and then too, knowing these guys, it may just be the noise, and then they will go back, go drink coffee, go have some lunch, and share the money. And Steve, you were young when the war started. The first war, and I'm going to say this quickly, it started with two groups. The MPFL, the MPFL, and the Liberian government. The people say they're coming for the government. By the time they went to their first conference, peace hearing, they came back, there were three. They went to the second peace hearing. When they came back, it was 4. They came back. Those people sat on the same table. They met with people. They devoured money. They came back to kill our people. So for me to trust them, this is the background in which I'm speaking from. It would be the same old thing. So you can be emphatic about Liberian leadership and those who take off to lead us. You cannot be emphatic.
Okay, thank you so much. Cyrus, what say you? Now, Monk, yeah, we'll get a Monk. Cyrus, what say you? Do you think they will finally happen? You know, what is your take on him, Cyrus?
So yeah, like I said previously, the United Party will face a very strong opposition within in the lower house, and that is a fact. But like Maya said, we can't trust them because trust is a very strong word. And can we trust Liberian politicians? Over the years, we've seen a lot of these people. They've never done anything for Liberia, and they've just been the same old people doing the same old thing. So we can't trust them. But again, let's see, especially with the way the United Party is going back and forth with Fanatikova, and what I'm hearing in the pipeline that they're about to file a lawsuit against them on the same dual citizenship because they so want to take this speakership away from him, especially where they're feeling very entitled to be the speaker and controlling the three branches of government. So I think Fanati will fight back. I think the CDC going to fight back, especially having the highest number. The CDC will fight back. And when it comes to the financial aspect, we all know Fanati is equipped, even though the executive controls the money. But with the CDC having the highest number and these independent candidates, and I don't think these independent candidates, some of them will always want to go in the direction of the ruling establishment. But again, the CDC will fight. The CDC not going to sit and fold their arms. Maybe this could be, like Mon said, maybe this could be, like the CDC could use this opportunity as well to fight back. And when it comes to Ambassador Boyka, let me tell you, this is an old man who can close their eyes on anything, especially when he wants to achieve. With America, Ambassador Boyka can show honor the seat. I mean, like to achieve his goal, especially with his government. I don't think with the kind of expectation he's giving the Liberian people, I don't think he want to inherit a government that, will even regret of electing, or a government that will make the Liberian people regret of electing, going to the ballot boxes to vote for him. So I mean, he can do anything. So let's just see. But again, in all of this, the Liberian people themselves will be the one to make the right decision by standing up, and asking and requesting for what would benefit them and create an enabling environment for a better Liberia. So that's my take on it.
Thank you, Cyrus. Monk, let's hear from you. Then we'll switch to the last topic before we can get our closing point. We want to make sure we are on time here to leave on time. Monk, let's hear from you.
Yeah, nothing strange, nothing more to this whole topic. It's just that we will be watching to see. We know there will be scrimmages between the upper house and the lower house because, like I said, the president-elect allies are in the upper house, and for Natikofa, we want to get something in return, especially if they keep pushing after him, going after this whole thing of dual citizenship and trying to rise to the speakership out of him. Because I believe there is a reason United Party want a clean slate, that they want to control all 3 levels of government. And CDC will want a way to pay back as well. Maybe it could be a very good reason. Maybe this whole path that United Party is taking might just force CDC to be the opposition that Liberian people might want in terms of standing up to the government and keeping them in check. Because why would you want to razzle the speakership from Fanatikova after he had already consolidated the position by going to the court? That's draconian. That is unprecedented. So I know Fanatikova will be having something over his sleeve. And says, yeah, I said it right. There will be few independent lawmakers that will look at the thing and say, you know what, we might as well stand for the Liberian people. I mean, I don't trust them, but equally so we still got a few individuals there that might just form a coalition with the CDC group and be able to stand up to the executive and the allies in the upper house. There is a strong possibility of that. Because I don't know, the whole thing about Fanatikova speakership, they're getting too personal. I think it's beyond the political aspect, and there should be a reason. There's always a method to the madness, and that's just why it is. Going to this length to wrestle the speakership for Fanatikova, I know he got something off his sleeve and they will strike back. CDC will strike back because CDC, even though I cannot make the case that they were inferior to Liberian people, I know they are now a fan of Unity Party or Joseph Boaga as well. They themselves want for Joseph Boaga to fail. I know that for sure. So there will be some retribution in this process concerning Russell in the speakership for Fanatic Kofa, you can expect that to happen.
Yeah, let me ask this question, because I mean, amidst everything we're talking, about the CDC wanting retribution, the CDC could be the opposition, the CDC will use the opportunity to flex the muscles or whatever it is to ensure. Omar, do you really believe that the CDC is ready to stand against the Unity Party, or this is just they're acting for nine, like you said earlier, they'll go back behind closed door, drink coffee or hang out together and say, we are one people and we're government and we're in the legislature and we work together, but the working together will be to undermine the Liberian people. What do you think?
And I'm going to speak based on history, and I hope for a better future. But based on history, as I chronicled earlier, based on history, I don't believe anything is going to change unless people feel their particular life or the livelihood of their children and their children will be threatened. But based on where we've been, where we've traveled so far, I think it's a noise, and Liberia is very fluid with that. Maybe in another 2 weeks, they will say they're coming together to work for the Liberian people, but it would actually be to share the national cake among themselves, where our people continue to suffer, and then in the end they can come and control them. Then when another election coming around, they will come on and show how they care for them, and then start dividing food and T-shirts and telling us about how they pay scholarship, although there's not enough money in the budget for education or for the hospital. So I don't see it. Seeing will be believing, because I don't have anything. I'm not being negative, because people will come and say, you're being negative, you're bitter. I'm telling you, history does not tell us this has happened in the last 40 or 50 years. Based on that, I would say it's the same 06 and 7. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let me hear from Cyrus on this. Cyrus, Monk, do you think, before I come to Cyrus, Monk, do you really think the CDC will stand up? Because listen, we can speculate all we want. The legislature have always worked against the progress of the Liberian people, whether you like it or not. Even those who were in the opposition for the Unity Party, they always voted we are we. So this is where I'm coming from. My question to you is, Mom, do you think the CDC will stand up? Do you think the CDC will ensure there is check and balance? Do you think the CDC, the house is critically important, leading the house? Do you think they are ready for this, or this will be business as usual?
Well, we were looking at the historical trend, we'll say it's business as usual, but they say politics makes strange bedfellow, and no two election cycles are the same. We can make the case that, okay, in time past, they've been working together in as much as they claim to be opposition, but this time around, it was something different. The previous election, it was not about wrestling the speakership from the opposing party. This time around, it's a whole different thing. Now, the guy who was very instrumental in securing the presidency, helping to secure the presidency of Georgia, he's on the opposite side of the aisle this time around. And now CDC, when in 2017 was the opposite, where Unity Party that had more lawmakers than CDC. This time around is a complete opposite, and it's a flip. So the possibilities are there. But like I said initially, I watch what people do instead of what they say. So maybe we could just say, let's give them the time and let's see how the team is play out. Because the Fanatic Kofa situation about the dual citizenship about going to court, it changed the whole trajectory. So maybe this would just be the perfect opportunity for CDC to prove that they are viable opposition in Liberian politics, because we have never seen anything like that in recent time, that a former ruling party will come back in power and all of a sudden they want to control all level of government. They are using draconian means to go after a guy that have already secured. Can you imagine? Just do the opposite. We heard that Nyomli Kanga is going to be the next Senate pro tem. And CDC was trying to launch an investigation to deny her of that position after securing the position by going to the coast to wrestle the pro temperature from Nyomli Kanga's possession. You know how it will be like? So maybe this particular scenario for Nantikova could just be the reason and only reason that CDC will try to strike back. And I'm hoping for that as well, in the name of a balance.
Okay, well, Sekou just joined us. Sekou, we're almost here, about to leave. but we'll have you on for maybe a few minutes here. But before we get to you, Cyrus, hold on. Let me get to Siku very quick. Siku, I don't know if you've been following the conversation here. What is your take on this new speakership, the new leaders of the legislature? Tomorrow we'll spend time on all of those members and the positions that were given to them and see where they are and what their expectations are. Because at the end of the day, the different roles and responsibilities that were given to members on committees, will determine, and we can see who they are already to know what's going to happen. But Sekou, what say you about this new leadership of the legislature? Sekou, are you there? Yeah, Sekou said, looking like Namego.
Thank you, Steve, and thanks to all of the many followers of SKT. Yeah, this morning I was present at... Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Are you getting me, Steve?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, Sekou Namege.
So, thank you. Thanks to all of the many followers of the platform, and thanks to all of the panelists. And I want to say congratulations to all of the lawmakers. Steve, today was the first defeat of Jose Yuma Bwaka as president-elect of the Republic of Liberia. And it clearly shows that Bwaka did not win the majority vote in the just ended election, because all of those elected representatives that voted for their respective colleagues is a clear indication that they represent their respective constituents. But the fact that the president-elect attempted to influence another branch of government election and he was defeated is a clear indication that Joseph Yuma Bwaka in the just ended election did not win the majority vote. What made today's election competitive, Steve, was because of Bwaka's attempt to influence elected lawmaker. If you can recall, Steve, prior to this election 1 week ago, Bwaka did meet with some representative elect and made a promise to them to vote for Fonati Kofa that he will prioritize development in their respective district. This to undermine democracy and to use his power to influence the legislature. For the fact that back for Nati Kofa as a CDC supporter candidate is a clear indication that Bwaka did not was the first of its kind attempt to become president. We're not in. I see this victory as bad to the national legislature special of representative. The 52nd legislature, Ellen Johnson Sally had control over the time she disagreed with the speaker, the shortest speaker in the history of Liberia. He was Ellen still had control over the speaker. The speaker, Judge Mane, where the balance where from the executive branch of government that the people commission that have come with districts in New, but legislature honor for that cover be influenced by that they will make an independent decision because they are an independent body. This is a clear indication that a new day has come where the executive will now use the legislature as a tools to achieve the evil deeds. So I want to say congratulations congratulations to all of the lawmakers who rejected the evil deeds and influence of the executive branch of government, and they prioritize their constitutional right over influence from the executive. So I see this legislature as an independent body for the fact that they must say congratulations to all of those who rise to the occasion.
Well, we can hear Sekou. We can hear Sekou. I think Sekou, the point I got from Sekou, and I think this will be our last point that we'll talk on, and then we'll give our partner comment. The point I got from Sekou was the Unity Party was defeated in this election. And that is a fair point. What does that say about Joseph Boakar's influence or his will or wanting to influence the legislature, even though he called and promised them money? Monk, let's start with you quickly. What does that say? What does that say in this bigger context?
I think Sekou said it right. I keep saying on this show over and over again that all those labels and tags that people attribute to Joseph Boakar, they're the complete opposite. If you going to get a team, you say you are the ruling party and you just came to power, whether it's an incident with the Yeke saying that he doesn't want to meet with Yeke, whether it's this whole move of going after Fanatic Kofa, it just means you are against the tenet of democracy. It means you want a blank slate. You don't want to be held accountable. So it tells you the intention. Look, Moses, when you want to understand human being, understand that intent. Don't look at the action, because the action is the byproduct of the intent. It just tells you that they will go the extra length and do anything, that Joseph Boakar himself is not interested in accountability in as much as people want to make it to seem like he's one of those that could be held accountable. No, because if you really want accountability, you won't even advise your allies to take this route by going after a speaker, after securing the speakership. Nobody will want to take this route. But like I said, the way how he's setting the platform and the table, it just tells you how a presidency is going to be like. That they are trying to wrestle everything. They want to give him unlimited power. He's already, it's a breach of constitutional duty, because the house is there to keep people in check. The house is the people's house. Even as much that we say we got a Senate, but everything originated from the House. That's what we are really represented. So the House, I would say, is even more powerful than what people think it is as compared to the Senate. So if you have a president that want to influence power, that want to put his thumb on the scale to wield more power, then it just tells you that he's not coming with the right intention, and we can see it happening already, even before he take office.
Okay, he's not coming with the right intention. Cyrus, and then we'll end up here with my Omar Yassini really quick. Cyrus, what say you?
Yeah, so regarding this whole thing, I would tell you that we can't, be 100% with the CDC, but I will tell you that the CDC is going to be a very strong opposition to the Unity Party. Like I said, previous on, the CDC is better for one fact that they believe that they've been robbed of power. They believe that they should have gotten 2 terms, and the way the election went, the CDC is already better with the Unity Party. So I will tell you that the Unity Party will meet a very strong opposition. And mind you, the CDC were in opposition for 12 years. We might not like them, but they were being very consistent, and they were being very vocal in their advocates, and they stood up for what they stood up for. Even if it did not benefit the Brand people, but they stood up for something, and until they took power. So they believe they've been denied of 2 terms. And for this reason, they're coming back with bitterness and anger. And this is to tell you, especially from the lower house. And everything that goes to the upper house to be confirmed, it passed through the lower house. So, the United Party government will face a very strong opposition for the next 6 years. And I will tell you that the CDC is not going to back down anytime soon. And with, like what President Monk said, we all told the Liberian people that the UP government or the president-elect, they mean well for the Liberian people, and with no regret, we stand by what we said, and we continue to say that to the Liberian people. Just before he take power, the president-elect wants to draft the legislature. The lower house. What does it tell you? Where is the change? The change that they claim or they preach to the Liberian people, that they're bringing to the Liberian people. This is where we are. But I will tell you for free, the CDC will really stand up to the Unity Party. And this is just the beginning. We will see that in the House, even though we'll have, some people falling by the wayside, but we'll definitely see a serious fight, especially with the way they want to take speakership from the CDC. The CDC will stand up for something.
Okay.
So that's one thing.
You're muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Steve, for having me on. Let me lay out something here. The essence of the three branches of government that in the mind of the framer was, or our founding father was, separation of power, to have separate three groups that would balance and check each other out. Okay, it was not for the executive to run over and make decision on behalf of the legislature. Then we don't need them. Then we wouldn't need the legislative branch of government if the what do you call it, the executive is that powerful. All of them supposed to have the check and balance, separation of power. And now the Liberian people will get to see how the 66 D was cut from brown envelopes, and how all the Beale Mountain, all the different places in the King George story, the Absalom Mattel, all of these things will come to a full. We're starting to see that, okay, right before our eyes. You have a elected president who has not been installed, who is overreaching his power, going into the next branch of government to try to bring he can influence his people to influence the other people that they're working with from the legislative. But for him to be bold and invite them to offer them in a world where there's law and order, that man will be called to be questioned. Okay, he will be called to be questioned. All right, and in fact, we will be talking something else. It's like Donald Trump or Joe Biden calling the elected legislature to say, "I'm going to bribe you to make decision." That's bribery. We just saw people sanction on that. Legislature and other powerful people in Liberia were just sanctioned from the international community for bribery, right or wrong. So I'm thinking, it will all come to a full. But all in all, again, let's say kudos to CDC. One thing you will say though, although they were not good at leading our people, they flunk, they fail miserably, they make our people miserable. But let me tell you, Liberian people, this. Pape Boaka is where he is because the fear of we are. They didn't elect him because they knew he could do the job. Liberian people felt that any other place that they went, that person was not going to win, and we are going to win. So they will stay and reverse. And that's what they did. Not because they love, not because they believe this man, Pape Boaka could do the job. I don't believe so. I think this shows the reflection of their fear. The leadership they chose were based on their fear because they didn't want to be under a BIA lead or CDC lead for another 6 years. By this end, let me say this to you. I know one thing that CDC has, and I follow them from the day they came to power or before they even came to power. They will stand up so and UP can brave themselves, Liberian people can brave themselves, okay, and then brace themselves because it will be a rough ride. And we will all be here to our voice. And then, yeah, it's the second thing though. Steve, 9 years ago, you were not on Facebook. We didn't have Facebook Live. 9 years ago, Cyrus may have been talking, but people, 4,000, 8,000, 10,000 people were not listening. Brazilian man were not on Facebook where he have 10,000, 20,000 people listening to him. Liberians are involved. Liberians all over the world are involved. They're taking interest in their country. Even locally, our people in the villages who used to not even ask questions and say, you don't question your leaders. They are not questioning your leader. So it's, for me, I think it's still, it may be slow, but it's a new dawn. Brace yourself.
Thank you so much. Well, folks, we're winding down here. I just got one caller. I'll give him 1 minute. He's been calling throughout. So let me give him a minute for him to make his case, and we'll call it a day. I'll give him a minute, just a minute. We'll call it a day. I'll get your parting comments, and we'll call it a day because we are almost at the 2 hour mark here. Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, Brigable. This is Brigable Power.
Yes, Brigable Power.
Yeah.
What's going on? What do you say to the conversation? You got 1 minute.
I got two contradictions about what President Moss said and my sister.
Okay.
I love her energy when she talk about war crime coach. But when you talk about why they do it then and they want to do it now, I got question mark with it. Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a secret. Do you know what President Johnson left? Seriously? That was a plain land that was there. After President William winning the second round, that was the next plane that was coming. So this is not something that just because they lost the election. It was plain that was set. And secondly, look, you know, the party not come with peace. They not come with peace. The way they enter in that power, they kill with violence, and they believe that they think that they still in opposition. Seriously, will never admit to anything. And I listen to more saying that the upper the Unified get more. They not got no more. They got 5 people that in the upper hall that is essential. Then the rest of them are there. Some of them there, they want to prove point. Like American want to prove point. Most of them in the house want to prove point. So all of them will be so careful to do things on the opposite side. You know, but cannot interfere in our house. The reason Democrat won the election is because there was a plan they had 2017, and that's why they went. And they didn't want to make that confusion among themselves. That's why they accepted to go that way. But in our upper house, they have more votes in our upper house. And secondly, look, since they will not bow down to nothing in our opposition, we will make sure that the same thing they do. They will be worse. And my sister just said it. The reason that they went Israel in the 12-year regime was the opposition, the Facebook now on, and this the way she just said it. Anything that happens now is on social media. Anything happens is on social media. So the recording, people will be doing recording, and that side will be recording on themselves. And after they finish the job, there will be split between them. Do you listen to Frank Johnson, what he said about the men at Jerome Border? Look, when Frank Johnson gave a war plan code, that's where the confusion come from, because you won't push Kung to make it to stop it. It will not stop. That's what I was saying. 3 days from now on, you'll see a difference in our account.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Unbreakable Power. So Breakable Power means key. But let's get our parting comment here really quick. Who wants to go first? Because it doesn't matter to me. Let's get our parting comments here.
My parting comment is very simple. CDC, we knew that you guys did better in the opposition than when you were the governing party, and you are giving you another opportunity. You just lost an election. They are going after your speakership, and I don't think that's something you want to stand up for. In as much as there are opportunities or a game plan by the Bwaga team to use to influence the first branch of government, this is another opportunity again to prove your point that you are strong opposition, to do the complete opposite, to do the needful in favor of the Liberian people by bringing war and economic crown code, and you have every reason to do it. The guy who was your ally, he's on the opposite side. The people who are on the rescue train now, they are in the upper house. You control the lower house. You got the gavel and the speakership, and they are coming after your guys. So we will see. It cannot be promised because I said initially, based on the historical trend, there is not a history that we can make the argument that you guys are going to be a fierce opposition. But this time around is different. We have never seen anything like that in recent memory. It's very unprecedented when it comes to power struggle. So you are giving another opportunity to do the best thing in the interest of the Liberian people. That would be my parting comment. So for Natikofa, the boys in your coach, show off the kind of man you are, what you are made of. You could use this particular opportunity to rescue yourself and do something better so that you can leave a legacy in Liberian history. Even though I don't support you as well.
Okay,
Thank you, Sarah.
Steve, I will come in. I think I will follow up with and my message is to Fanatic Kufa. I really don't support you. I just want you to know that. I think because based on your record, in the real world with law and order, people hold people accountable. I know people say we right or wrong, but you've been given an opportunity by the Liberian people. Okay, you've been given an opportunity to say or do. When you went to court, you say you were trying to help your people. You have a bigger platform now to help your people. You don't have to take from Peter to give to Paul to help your people. You are in charge. You have the gavel at this point to change Liberia, to rewrite all the wrongs that were done to all of us, okay, that we have to leave our country to make it. So to speak, I will say to you, the board is in your court. All right. I've learned and I've challenged my team when they say you support the war and economic crime score. I have not been able to see it. Now is the time. You have over 300,000 Liberians who get put their signature on paper and tell you that this is what we want. Okay, that's more than the vote you got today. So go ahead and do so. CDC, let me come to you. You're wearing a good leader. You terrorize our people. You dehumanize them. But guess what? We understand you know how to be opposition. Be the opposition that you know how to be. Be civil, but be strong. Stand up and hold these people accountable. We will be here to also be the referee for that. That said, I want to say, Steve, thank you so much for having me. And anyone else who believe that the Liberian people were in trouble at this time, it's time for you to stand up. Don't go hide in the corner. Don't sit in the back. And then you show up, okay? Then show up later. We need to stand up for Liberia. Listen, me, Yasendi, Steve, Cyrus will all have birthrights. We are not immigrants. We didn't immigrate to Liberia. We have birthright, and those cannot be taken from us. Nobody can write us off. Fanati Kofa is a Liberian citizen, and it is what it is, and based on our original constitution, all right, that you people are cutting half and half, butchering because you're afraid of competition. It is our right. You cannot take that away. So, Steve, thank you for having me again. Thank you, Liberian people. CDC, stand up. CPP, if you're still there, or ANC, whoever you are, all the other political party, we have to stand up for Liberia. It would really mean that Liberia needs to be liberated. This is the time. Thank you, Steve. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cyrus, let's hear from you before we call it a day.
Yes. Yeah, so let me just add my voice to everyone else's voices. Let me give this as an advice to the current speaker, the speaker elect. Fanatikopa, you made a mistake. Nobody's perfect. This is a time you can come back. The World Economic Crime Code, you can even use this World Economic Crime Code to even fight back, just as the United Party people are fighting to rob this entire speakership from you. You can use this. This could be one of the first things that should be on your desk, and let's see if the Senate will not support it. And let the Liberian people be the judge. I mean, this is time that all Liberians, you need to stand up, especially for the young folks, the younger folks. 2017, we all were not like this. We are aging day by day. In 2029, some of us will be aging, will be starting life at the age of 40 and 35 and in our middle, whatever it is. This is the time that all Liberians stand up, because Liberia has suffered too much on our leaders, especially you. The constitution, the fundamental law of the country tells you that the power is inherited in the people. This is the time that Liberian people used whatever the fundamental law give them the right to do. This is the time that you hold your leaders accountable, especially the United Party government. Now seeing from the early stage that they want to control the three branches of government. And we all know the CDC to be a very strong opposition. That's why they're good. We all know that they failed the Liberian people massively in the last 6 years. They suffered the Liberian people. People were intimidated. Some of us are victims of the CDC government. It's true. But we all know that this is the time that the CDC can use this opportunity to come back, stand up for what is right, because you're still a Liberian. Nobody can take that away from you, no matter what happens. So, I mean, this is just my take. And to Liberians, you need to stand up. You need to know what you want. Liberia, we now, this year, making Liberia 177 years. Liberia is way old to still be, struggling with basic things as a country. So yes, thank you so much, and thank you for having me on SKTV. And to all our followers, we say thank you for following, sharing SKTV, and keep supporting us. We are here to stay, because Liberian people are the most important people in Liberian women, are the most beautiful women on earth.
Thank you so much, Cyrus. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do. Folks, we want to leave it here for today. Let me give my take. I don't have no expectations. The legislature would have to surprise me and maybe surprise other Liberians as well. I really don't have no expectations. I go by what they have done, and what they have done is they have not lived up to the expectations of Liberian people to benefit the Liberian people. So I personally have no expectations, just for the record. I think it's a good thing to be alive at this time, but I also think the Liberian people should gear up to hold the leaders accountable. They should. No one should shy away from it. Every one of us should be encouraged, willing, and ready to hold our leaders accountable. There is nothing wrong with it. Folks, there is nothing wrong with it. Please don't think that when you hold people accountable or when you hold your leader accountable, that means you did something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. In fact, we should hold our leaders accountable. Cyrus, thank you. Thank you to everyone else that followed, that contributed, that have been part of this program for today. We say a big thank you, a big, gigantic, humongous thank you to you. Let's have a good day as we look forward to the work that other people have done, such as Martin Luther King and others. We want to say thanks to them for what they did. Today is Martin Luther King's Day. We want to say thanks. Thank you. Let's stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, Sekou will be on tomorrow with you. I want to say thank you, and thank you. Let's call it a good day. Cyrus, we'll talk beyond closed door. Please don't leave. We gotta talk.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it from podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the